In this video, we're going to be checking out Cloudinary, a digital asset platform that allows us to easily organize and manage a range of digital assets and then output those to various different websites and an awful lot more. However, I'm only going to cover the key aspects of getting started with this, specifically using it alongside WordPress. Now, this is a sponsored video by Cloudinary, but as always, there'll be no opinions expressed. I will simply demonstrate how the platform works, and then you can make a more informed decision for yourself. So first of all, what exactly can we do with this? Well, we've got, most importantly, in my opinion, the digital asset management side of things. We can easily organize, store, upload, optimize, deliver our digital assets, images and videos and so on. You've also got integrations with a range of different platforms. So if you're outside of the WordPress ecosystem, you still have access to be able to use this on your website. And you also have programmable media through powerful video and image APIs. Now, a lot of these things are not going to be touched upon in this video. I would recommend you take a look at the Cloudinary website to get a solid understanding of all the options that they offer. I'll put a link in the description for ease so you can check it out for yourself. Like I say, I'm more interested in getting started using this alongside WordPress. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and sign up for a free account. So let's simply go ahead, click on sign up for free, and we can sign up now with our email, with Google, or with GitHub. I'm going to use my email for this example. Once I've gone ahead, added my details in, we'll click on get started now and sign up and approve my account. And there you go. Once I've signed up and approved my account, I now go through a simple little wizard to help me get started setting up my Cloudinary account. Now, there are obviously paid plans for this, and again, I would recommend you take a look at those to get a solid understanding of the pricing and what each one of these gives you. However, the free plan, which is what we're going to test out in this video, gives you a good idea of how it all works and allows you to kind of test the platform for yourself before you jump onto one of those paid plans. So, for example, I'm going to say I'm a marketing and creative individual. But if you're a developer and you want to work with those APIs and SDKs, you have that option. And you can change any of this. This is just a kind of helping you get started and setting things up the right way for you. We're going to choose marketing creative. We'll move on to the next stage. Click on done. And that then takes me into my account proper. Now, inside here, you can see we've got the ability to go ahead and ask any questions. We've got the option on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, we've got the ability to go through our media library, any of the apps in the marketplace, metadata, and so on. We can also adjust our preferences and apply transformations, which we'll take a look at a little later. We've also got a welcome, which I would recommend you take a look at. This is a kind of short video that will walk you through what the platform is all about, so you kind of get a better understanding than what I may cover in this video. And then you can see underneath, we can say, well, what do we want to do first? We can start uploading assets, applying transformations, and so on. But before we do anything else inside here, I want to connect my account app to my WordPress website. Now, to do that, all we need to do is head over into our site, into the dashboard, come into our plugin section, and do a search for Cloudinary. Once we do that, we can click on Install Now. Once installed, we'll activate it. And we now have the Cloudinary plugin installed on our website. We need to do a couple of things, though. We need to set things up, connect everything up to the API that's part of our account so everything is synced to each other. And then we can start syncing our website with our digital asset management inside the Cloudinary platform. So let's go ahead and do that. First of all, let's go ahead, click on Next. This now asks us to connect our plugin. So you can see this tells us what we need to do, where we can find the information for the API key inside our account. So let's go ahead and do just that. So from the Cloudinary dashboard, simply come up, click on this icon, and inside there you'll find inside your dashboard, and this will give you your API environment variable. All we need to do is copy it, head back over to the plugin on our website, and simply paste that inside there. And then we can go ahead. You can see this is now telling us connected, so everything is connected up correctly. We can click on Next. So this will now take us over into a kind of settings panel. This is going to use what it considers the recommended settings. As you can see, we can optimize all the media, we can optimize our themes and plugins and so on, and we can activate advanced features like lazy loading and so on. Now, you may find there are certain things inside here you do or don't want to include. You may have your theme handling certain things. You may have additional plugins handling things. Well, all you need to do is simply go ahead, enable or disable what you do or don't want, and then you can lock them down. I'm going to leave everything as it is and click on Next. That's now going to go ahead and start to set up the Cloudinary account, set up the plugin, and have everything connected up. So now you can see that synced everything. We can say, let's go to the dashboard plugin. And this now gives you an overview of what's happening or what has happened inside your Cloudinary account. So all those optimization options will be listed inside here. Now, obviously, this is a free plan, so it's going to be restricted in certain respects, certain number of credits and so on. And also, we've just installed it, so we're not really going to see much data inside here. But you can see this will give you information about the CDN, or the Content Delivery Network side of things. You can see how many transformations you've done, how many bandwidth, how much storage you're using. You can see it's telling us that we've optimized everything. So we've got the optimized and the original sizes. We've saved 32%. This is a pretty minimal website with only a handful of images, but you can start to see how this gives you an overview of what exactly is going on. If you look on the right-hand side, you can see it tells us what current plan we're using, the storage that we're using from our account, the number of transformations we have available and how many we've used. Again, like I say, we'll take a look at transformations a little later. And then we've also got things like the amount of bandwidth we've used, the optimization level, which we can open this up and you can see we can choose a range of different predefined options. So things like image delivery, optimization, video delivery, and so on and so forth. And any extensions we may have access to and install as part of our account. Then underneath, we gives us the plan details. So you can see we're on the free plan, what we actually get in there, how many we have remaining, and so on. So we can monitor everything, whether we're on the free plan or we move up to the paid plan. So now you'll see once we've got the plugin installed and connected up to our account, on the left-hand side under Cloudinary, we now have a lot more options. Dashboard is what we're currently looking at. But if we hop in, we can take a look at what we can configure and customize. So for example, if we take a look at the general settings, we can go ahead and disconnect our account. If we're setting this up to test things out, then we want to disconnect it for whatever reason, we can do that inside here. We can also relaunch that wizard that we saw at the beginning. So if you accidentally close that down or you just want to open it up for any other reason, you can do that from here. Now underneath, this is where we can start to deal with some of the basic options. So like I said, we had some options when we set up the wizard, but we can change things easily inside the settings panel. So we've got a sync method. In other words, do we want to have this automatically sync the data between our website and our Cloudinary account, or do we want to handle this manually? So for a site that may not update very often, you may want to handle this manually. But you can see it gives you a little bit of information underneath. You've also got things like the Cloudinary folder path. We can kind of leave these things at their default values. Then we can choose how we want to store the images. So you could, on a very busy website with a lot of data changing, let Cloudinary handle all of the image delivery side of things and have nothing stored on your WordPress website. This would then optimize your kind of website traffic going through the actual hosting plan, while the delivery of the media is handled totally separately, and the storage of the media. So you can see we can choose between Cloudinary and WordPress. Cloudinary and WordPress and just have a low resolution version on the actual WordPress website itself, or just use Cloudinary. I'm going to leave it set to the default value. Underneath, again, it tells us more information about these three different options. And if we want to learn more, we can go ahead and take a look at the documentation for using that. And then you've all got additional sync settings. So depending upon how you've set things up, whether you've got it connected up to your plugins, your theme, your WordPress, your content, images, and so on, you can see we can enable and disable that. And we can also go ahead and purge this. So if you find you're getting any kind of corruption or things are not working correctly, you may want to just simply purge this and then clear everything out and start with a fresh cached version. Same thing goes for external assets. You can see I currently have this disabled, but you can, if you want to, have external assets being synced up through Cloudinary as well. If we take a look at the image settings, so if you're using this to handle the image side of things, you can see we can sync and deliver images from Cloudinary. We get a preview, and we've also got the ability now to customize how this is going to be delivered. So for example, do you want to optimize the images on your site, what format you want to use? So you can leave this set to auto, or if you want to push things to a specific format like WebP or GIFs or PNGs, you can do that inside here. I'm going to leave it set to auto, but you can set it to whatever you want. You can also control the quality. So if you want the most optimized, fastest site, you may want to choose this to be something that's relatively low, but obviously you're going to have your images suffer from quality loss. And you can see when we make changes, this will show us inside the preview what actually happens. We can also do things like enable SVG support. So if you don't have support straight out of the box, and you don't want to use another plugin, you can handle that directly inside the actual Cloudinary plugin itself. You've also then got options for video. So if you were delivering video via Cloudinary, you can see we can also access and control how things work inside here. So you can see we can choose to sync and deliver videos directly from Cloudinary. We can choose what kind of video player we want, whether it's the default WordPress one or the Cloudinary one. We can optimize our videos in much the same way as we've seen when it works with the image formats. And again, you can see we can choose In this case, auto and not set, and we've got the video quality. We can choose what video quality we want inside here. So again, if you want fastest load-in with minimal sort of bandwidth usage, then you can adjust the quality accordingly. Save your changes once you've finished. You kind of get the idea how this works. Then your lazy load-in, if your theme or any additional plugins don't actually support this, then you can do it directly inside Cloudinary. However, you can enable and disable this. So if you have something external or your theme handles this directly, well, you could disable it so you don't end up with some kind of weird conflict between the two. But if you use the lazy loading option inside Cloudinary, you can choose how things work. You can see this is going to show us what the preloader, the placeholder, and the actual loaded image is going to be like. So if we wanted to, we could pixelate, and you can see this will show a pixelated version, or we can vectorize it. We can have the dominant color show through, or we can have the placeholder image generation turned off. I would recommend you have at least one. Probably blur is the better one, because then anybody that sort of has a slower connection can still see that things are happening, and you'll have this kind of blurred version of the placeholder as the image is being loaded in. So if there's a slower connection, they'll still see something happening. Then you've also got your DPR rating, which is your device pixel ratio. So you can see we can set this to be off 2 times or maximum. Again, I'm going to leave all these as they are. Then if you want to deal with responsive images, you can see this will automatically generate a range of responsive sizes. Now, if we take a look at this, you can see this is generating 10 different image sizes. And this may be way too much for what you want. So you can easily change this. Let's say we want to set this to 4. And you can see now that will show us the 4 different image values that it will show us, and it'll give us the range of image sizes from a minimum for the 200 pixels for the smallest one up to 2048 for the largest version. And you can also adjust the breakpoint distance. And again, with all of these options, you can enable or disable them inside here. And then you've got your gallery settings. So if you want to use the built-in Cloudinary gallery function, you can control how this actually works and displays. So you can see we can have an expanded 2-column, expanded 3-column, or the kind of classic. And you can also easily come in and customize the colors, everything to do with this, to make sure that it is in keeping with whatever design you're using. Great if you want to use this alongside any kind of products and things like that. You may be customizing the look and feel of how a WooCommerce site works, where you could use this to create your own custom galleries inside the Cloudinary platform and then deliver directly from Cloudinary. So that's basically what the plugin offers inside WordPress itself. It's a pretty abundant set of options. You can customize and tweak so many different features. But you're probably thinking, well, that's great. We've seen how that works, but what happens on the actual media delivery side of things? Where do those images go and all those kinds of things? Well, let's hop back into the Cloudinary dashboard and let's move over from the getting started panel into our media library. And you'll see that now all of the images from our site have been pushed over into the Cloudinary media gallery. Now we've got additional images inside here from Cloudinary itself, which we can easily go ahead and delete. But we can easily see what images we have. We can then go ahead and we can sort of go through the different folders that are available, the creation dates, so we can sort and we can kind of filter things based upon a multitude of different criteria. So managing your assets is very, very simple. And if you select any of the images, you'll see over on the right-hand side, we now have a summary of the image itself and also the metadata. Now we can easily add or edit or change any of the metadata associated with any of our images. Now the other cool thing about this is it doesn't just handle metadata. We can use that and we can find information about the actual image itself, and we can see when it was last replaced and created and so on, but we've also got access control. So if you wanted to restrict access to these images based upon various different options, you can do that inside here. So this is currently set to public, but we can select this and choose this to be restricted. So this will be publicly accessed only between certain days and times. So if we choose that restricted option, we say time limited access and we can restrict access to it. So there's various different reasons why you may want to use this, but it can all be handled directly inside here. So if you're using this image on multiple different websites, maybe you're dealing with advertising and you want to have a banner display across an entire network of websites, well, you could use this then to control what access is available for dates and times and so on, all inside one single platform. And this is the kind of beauty of using platforms like this, is that it gives you a centralized location to handle and manage your media, whether that's image media or video media. So with the image still selected, if we hop over into the metadata section, you can see we can now go ahead and start applying our own custom tags. So you may want to tag this to a particular website, a particular marketing campaign, whatever you kind of want, you can easily apply tags inside there. So let's just call this water, for example, and we'll say we want to add the new tag. We'll click, and there's our tag applied to it. You can see the asset types then underneath, so we can set this to be whatever kind of asset we want. So is it a photograph, an illustration, a logo, and so on? And we can use this information then to filter things. So we may say this is going to be a photograph in this example, and you may have a centralized repository for all of your sort of logo and branding assets. Well, you can apply the logo asset type to that and filter just to find the logos. You've got usage rights, so we can set this up to be your Creative Commons, your internal use only, copyrights, and so on. So we'll say this is a Creative Commons image. We can set the status, whether this is unedited, work in progress, and so on. So if you are handling asset management inside here before you deliver this, you may say that this is going to be in review or editing or work in progress. We'll leave this to be set at final. Your expiration date if you want to set one up, and if you're working with products, you may want to set a SKU code in here as well. All very simple to do. And then once you're finished, you can click on save, and that information is now being added to that particular image or asset inside your asset library. You've also got these options in the top right hand corner. We can copy the URL to this image if we want to, or if we click on these three dots, the sort of kebab menu, you can see we can open this, we can edit it, and we can edit it in a range of different ways. We can open the containing folder, so when you start to organize your information into folders and grouping things together by project, by page, by website, whatever you want to organize them by, you can click to open this up, and then you can find what other assets are inside there. You can download this, and you can download it in a range of different ways. And this is where those transformations kind of come in. You can download the original, but you can also have this automatically cropped to a 16:9 or a 9:16 banner. You put a gradient fade, you can convert it to grayscale, all manner of different things. And if you're setting things up and you want to push these over to places like Instagram or Facebook using predefined sizes, you can do that inside here as well. And you can see there's a range of different predefined sizes for Instagram posts and stories, Facebook, and so on. You can share this if you want to, so you can have a published link, you can invite, or you can just simply copy that URL. You can rename, add to collection, control that access control like we've just seen, or we can go ahead and delete it. So there's lots of options inside here. If we double click it, that will take us into the sort of editing area. And this is where we've got those transformation presets. You can see we can set this to be a 16:9 banner. So we can click on this, and that will then convert it to a 16:9 banner for us. We might want a 9:16. We'll click it, and you can see that's now set up as a 9:16 banner. But you'll also notice that it's actually intelligently kind of focusing on what looks good in the image. You want to watermark it or put a proof watermark on there, you can do that. So if you were using this alongside with clients and you want them to prove things, you can do that. And these are all non-destructive, which is the nice thing. You want to put a text overlay on, you can do that. You want to create a thumbnail, you can do that. So that's pretty cool, pretty easy to sort of work with. And you can also open this in a new tab. You can download this, you can copy the URL, or you can edit the transformation itself. So you click on edit transformation. You'll see what happens is this takes us into a more advanced way of editing our images. Plus, we're not limited to what we can see here. This is outputting the HTML code for working with this, with the Cloudinary short code that's being added into it. But you can also work with HTTP, Ruby, PHP version 1, version 2, Python. All those options are inside here. So if you want to work with Vue.js or so on, you can see this gives us all the information that we could simply copy and paste that into the code on our website. And that transformation would be applied to that image delivered from the Cloudinary platform. It's pretty powerful stuff. And as you can see, we've also got the ability to customize all the different aspects of this over on the left-hand side, including the things like the effects we want to apply. We may want to make this black and white, for example. We can do that. You can see there's a lot of different options on how you can customize the media that you want to deliver using the Cloudinary platform. And this is the thing that's worth considering. All of this is being done on the Cloudinary platform and handled via the Cloudinary platform itself, and then delivered to your website. So the heavy lifting is being done here, and the output is just then being pushed over to your website. It's pretty simple stuff, but it's pretty powerful what you can do with this. Now, this is the kind of overview of the actual media management itself. You can see transformations is available, so if you want to, you can hop into transformations and see all the different transformations that are available. It gives you information about how they work. You can see we've got a couple of little previews to see them, and then it tells us the little bit of short code that's being used to handle that side of things. We can use this template if we want to, and as you can see, there's a lot of different options in here. Pretty cool to see how we can use this. So for example, let's say you use this template for applying rounded corners. That will take us into the transformation builder. There's our transformation. And as you can see, again, we've got this Node.js, React, Vue, and so on. So we can see all the different variations that we can use to create this exact same effect. And we can apply this to both images and we can apply it to video. So we can hop over to the video option and you can see we can now have this preview of the video and we can scale it, we can limit it, we can fit it, we can trim the video, we can adjust the bitrate, the frames per second. There's lots and lots of options for customizing your media in here. So for example, let's say I wanted to crop my video. Well, I can say, let's come into crop and you can see we can choose what we focus on. We can object, direction, or special, and we can say we want to crop this, let's just say to 1024 by 1024. You can link these together to keep the aspect ratio should you want to, but for this example, I just simply want to show you how it works. We click apply, and we've now cropped our video down to a 1024 by 1024 video. Hit play, and see how a video starts to play. Want to use the URL, the Node.js, React, and so on. So we just simply copy that. There's our video, and we can hit play and let it start playing. So there's our cropped version. You can see it's using our short code there that tells it exactly what to crop and how to crop it, and the video that's being used. So there's lots of ways in which you can handle this with your own digital media. Okay, so we've seen how transformations work, we've seen how the media library works and so on. But what if we want to upload some media and then access that on one of our websites? How can we do that? Well, all we need to do is click on upload. We'll browse for this, or we can go ahead and grab something from a web address, from Google Image Search, Google Drive, and so on. So there's lots of options that you can go and grab something. For example, let's just go and browse for something on our computer. We'll grab this image and we'll open it. That will now upload that, optimize it, do the processing, and then it'll be inside our asset library. So you can see now we found some tags for you. Do you want to apply these tags for us? So we've got human face, man, person, and poster. You can choose to apply those tags, or we'll just click in this example to skip and handle things manually for ourselves. So once that's gone ahead and finished, you can see that's uploaded, and there's our image inside our asset library. So again, we can select this and we can change any of the options for the summary, for the metadata, and so on. We'll leave that as it is for now. But we've now added a new image into our asset library, our media library. Let's head over now into our website and take a look at how we can actually get access to this and how easy it is to be able to choose and work with these images. For this example, I want to change the background image in this particular design. I've opened my container app and I've got my style section, so I'm going to click on change image. This is going to open up the normal media explorer we have as part of WordPress. And you'll see we can upload and media library as we normally used to. But we now have Cloudinary as a new tab. If we select the Cloudinary tab, then you'll see this will show us all of the images that we have as part of our media library. So we can simply go through until we find the image we want. In this example, there's our live stream image. We'll select that and we'll click import. And as you can see now, that replaces the image with the one from Cloudinary. So now that we've seen how to upload our media, how to transform our media and so on, you're probably going to want to organize your media as well, just to keep everything logical and easy to find. What we're going to do is we're going to select a bunch of images. We'll choose this selection of photographs here. That'll do to start off with. And you'll see we've got these icons at the top right-hand side. Let's go ahead and click on Add to Collection. This will then display all the collections we have or allow us to create a new collection. So we'll just call this Photographs. We'll click on Add, and those now have been added into a new collection called Photographs. So we go to our collections. At the top, you'll see this Photographs. It has 4 assets inside there. Click to open it up, and you'll see inside there now we have 4 photographs. Simple as that. We've now started to organize things together. You want to come back out of this, you want to go to a different one, you can come back to your collections and you can see there's my sample collection with 1 asset inside there. You can click on the 3 dots and from there you can open this, you can publish it, you can invite, you can download, rename, preview, and delete. So you've got simple media management controls directly inside the media library itself. There's also a new feature called the Media Explorer, and this is kind of more like the view you'd expect to see on the computer you're working with. So a typical kind of top-down level that'll show you the folders, the images, and so on. This is a quick way of scrolling through and finding what you want. You can easily hover over any of the images. It'll give you a larger pop-out view. You can see the name of it, the public ID, the resource type, when it was created, last modified, and you can upload directly inside here as well. Now, before we wrap things up, we've seen how to deal with images and how to access and find and organize and store and all those kinds of things you're going to need to do. Finally, let's go ahead and choose to upload a video format inside here. So we'll browse We'll choose this little short video and we'll click on open. That will now upload that video, process it. So now that our video is uploaded, we can go ahead and apply transformations and things to this like we've seen earlier, or we can just simply go ahead and start to use this inside our projects. Now we've seen how we can use the Media Explorer to access this. So for example, if we come into video, we can choose the media library, and from there we can access Cloudinary. And inside Cloudinary, we're going to have access to that new media, our video in this example, and we can insert it from here if we want to. So we can select it, we can import it, those kinds of things. But we can also do it in a different way. So for example, you may not want to have access to this. You may want to just embed the video. Well, you can use a URL. So if we come back into Cloudinary, click on the little copy URL, select that, hop back over, say insert from URL, paste that inside there and hit enter or return. You can see that now is embedded the video, and that's being played directly from the Cloudinary platform. And we can easily go ahead, click on play, and it starts immediately. So you can kind of see there's multiple ways in which you can insert and add media wherever you want to, using the tools that you have available in Cloudinary. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what you can do with Cloudinary. I've literally just scratched the surface of the options you have and how you can integrate this into your WordPress website. But hopefully what this has demonstrated is how easy it is to connect up a Cloudinary account and have all your digital media handled inside there and then pushed over to your WordPress website, set up how you want it to interact, and then manage everything from a centralized location. Great option if you're looking to handle multiple websites or larger websites and you want an easy, quick way of being able to handle all of the media that you want to use and distribute on that site or sites. But as always, all the applicable links are in the description down below, so check Cloudinary out for yourself. My name is Paul C. This is WPTuts, and until next time, take care.